Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue our exploration in this ancient language that I was born into. I feel very lucky. And today, even luckier that I decide to dive in to really look at my language, my native language, from a little bit distance from the English perspective. And I hope along this journey of my discovery, as I'm not a PhD in this or that, I'm just a language user. And then I research and read up on this and make some my own dot connection moments to try to make sense of the language. All right, so today our expression is 掉书袋.掉书袋 is an expression to mean somebody who like to show off, either using big vocabularies or quote famous people to show that they're well read. They have a lot in their mind, in their head. And so that's what 掉书袋. It's a little bit derogative. It's like, I guess for communication purpose, if you can express something in a simpler language, do it instead of using more higher brow words for that. But I guess in other contexts, you want to have accuracy as well. So it's a balance. But okay, 掉书袋 specifically to mean that person you don't like unnecessarily complicating the expressions so that it kind of show off I guess it lands on the intention of that person, the expressions, the choice of language came from this ego. That's how the audience read off this person. Therefore, they are calling them our 掉书袋. Okay. 掉 means swag, almost like waving, kind of getting your attention. It came from, of course, when it's swag, it's by a hand motion. So it's a 5-finger hand symbol. Again, this top right tilt is a differentiator from another character that looks almost like the same. That is a hair, but this is a hand. So right tilt is a hand, left tilt is the hair. Okay, 5-finger hand symbol. And then we have a little bit twisted concept. The total of the right side, like stacking up all that icons together, it means outstanding. Okay, outstanding came from the top is a human figure, or when it's flipped over like that, because human figure in its normal formation looks like this. Now it's this one, right? So it's a kind of a flip of a human figure. And it could mean dagger. So Chinese also have this dagger character that look similar, almost like that. So in this case, it's hard to tell because in dagger, when we have two daggers next to each other, that means comparison. So it could also be human figure flipped over, and then you have two flipped over human figures as a comparison. So two of the same thing, or two of the same category of things put next to each other, that kind of means comparison. Okay, the bottom, this whole thing means morning. It means morning because the top portion, this oval shape with horizontal line, is our depiction of the sun. You may see, I mean, if you learned Chinese language a little bit, sun, this character probably came up early in your vocabulary. You may say, this doesn't look like it. It's because it's incorporated into this bigger character formation. It got squished vertically, therefore it become oval shape. Otherwise, it's more spread out. It's more like a spherical. And then the horizontal line means energy emitting from that sphere. So sphere with energy, that's sun. And then the bottom is like a shell ejecting the seed from the shell. So it depicts this popping moment. So the whole thing, you mean, okay, when we talk about 早, that means morning or early, we can see the relationship with that with the sun, right? Because if it's early or if it's morning, it's related to timing. And in ancient times, people used the sun as the marker of timing. But what is this popping seed doing? Okay, the two connected, you can see it's connected, form as like a subcomponent of the whole picture. That means the breaking, the daybreak moment, as if it's the pot popping. So there is this distinctive moment of daybreaking that the sun is from below horizon. You don't see that. You may see the light already, but you don't see the sun visually. Two, it's rising above the horizon. Like there is that clear-cut moment of the sun becoming visible. And that's the daybreak. That's the popping of the seed put next to the sun, below the sun, to mean the sun popping into the sky. For us, that's the day breaking. And that's Chinese way to say it's early, because it's just daybreak. So now we have this early and we have this comparison. Scholar said comparison have this two, this figure, right? Now it's only left with one. So the scholars are saying that when we compare two persons together, or we compare any kind of things together, if only two, right? One is the early one, or one is the first one, and then the second one is the later one. Always the first one kind of stand out, become the better one. So the earlier one become the better one. I guess that's the logic. So earlier, better. I don't have the full historical context over there, but I guess early rising was culturally encouraged in Chinese, because as an agrarian society, rise up early so that it can get ready for the whole day's toiling through the land farm was considered a good practice versus, stay up late. And I guess in ancient time, there's no stay up late thing because you don't have lighting. But early in comparison is the preferred one. And that's how you stand out, because you start early. Okay, so stand out paired with the hand. That almost gives you the sense of, if you want to show something to somebody, if you want to catch somebody's attention, you have to make something stand out. And I guess if it's a hand motion, if we want to use hand to make something stand out, we can do this, right? Swag. So that's 调, the full character. Okay, 书, 3-finger hand symbol, holding a brush. And then this is probably a simplification of that brush, the remainder of that brush. So on the top, that gives you the sense of writing. To have 3-finger holding the brush to write, right? Or the pen in contemporary writing tool. So we have writing on the top, and the bottom is definition. 主. Definition came from this mouse symbol, or actually it could be the sun symbol as well, with one horizontal line, the energy. It could be the sun symbol, or it could be mouse symbol. Because the sun symbol seems like this, there's no corner, right? So, okay, let's go with the mouse symbol, because the mouse symbol, instead of being an oval shape, it has to have this corner to mark it's the corner of the mouse, that it's a mouse symbol. So mouse symbol with one horizontal line, that's something being, I guess, something coming either in the mouth or being spoken, because mouse symbol oftentimes signifies speaking. And then we have connected to this one big vertical line. That means somebody is saying something. And I guess with this horizontal line, it signifies something worthy, something that catches your attention, because not everything we are saying worth note taking, right? So this is a moment when you're throwing out something valuable to people and people take notes, right? That's the horizontal line. And then this almost like a two S curves, kind of a reverse S curve. So S curve is kind of like this, right? And Chinese have the opposite direction. So it's the reverse S curve, two of them kind of doing this, almost like a big X shape. To my understanding, that shows something kind of an entanglement of something. And to be able to distinguish, to bring clarity, to distinguish, to separate this complicated situation, that's in Chinese, people use that to mean the definition. So when we try to give the definition to the listener, we use whatever you're trying to define and then 指 after it to mean here is how I'm going to define it. So when we pair writing, the motion of writing, with this definition concept, that means it's the thing that you're writing. So 书者, almost like it's your writing thing. Then that becomes the book, the things you're writing on, right? Or the result of your writing. So it's your writing thing. So that's the book. Okay, that we have the clothing symbol over there. That simply depicts the ancient collar neckline. Looks like this. And then this is the back of the collar. So the whole thing is the front and back of the neckline. That signifies, that main feature of clothing, ancient clothing, becomes the general term for clothing. And then the right side means replace. So we have a person symbol and we have a weapon symbol. A person plus a weapon, it should be like one-on-one, right? Equal. But somehow over time, this becomes replacement. So I'm imagining in ancient battlefield situation when the soldier, because the soldier can be not mortal, but detrimental, like the soldier can be killed, right? But weapon is still there. So replacement would be after battle, if you lost your people, you still want to keep your weapon so that you can replace the soldier holding the old weapon. So new soldier, old weapon. That's the kind of replacement, like replace the weapon wielder, if you say, if you will. So this replacement comes from this person symbol plus the weapon symbol combination. That's the replacement there. Okay, so we have the replacement and plus the clothing symbol. Why it becomes a bag? It doesn't make sense, right? So my understanding is bag is, imagine it as something in your, imagine as a pocket. Okay, pocket is a bag. So it's something related to cloth, related to a closure. So clothing, right? Clothing is kind of a fabric that constructed to serve a purpose, right? And a replacement in the sense of the bag is always there, but whatever is temporarily stored in the bag can be replaced. So that's the connection that I try to make. The whole thing means bag. So swag, book, bag, as if somebody is this just a very vivid way to depict somebody is showing off their knowledge by, as if they have a bag of books, they are swinging in there. By this verbal communication, by the way they are using their language, probably a little bit of body language and showing of attitude as well to show that I'm superior intellectually, or I know more, I know better, something like that. So that's how Chinese say 掉书袋. I'm not sure I translate correctly, pedantic. That means somebody who is very bookish, who is using the terms correctly and everything stick to the book rather than stick to the context, to the conversation, to the person you're talking with, not adapting to the audience, but instead stick with whatever that person's original, like stick with whatever that person is taught or read about. It's not in real applying of the knowledge to adapt to the person you're talking with, but stick with the original where they pick up the information or knowledge. That's my understanding of 掉书袋. Pedantic. Okay, so probably the two got a little bit of variation because pedantic could be bookish, could be, somebody who is sticking with, the idealized or correct academic way of expressing something versus in a daily life that oftentimes we're not grammatically correct, right? Or we omit something because it happened in a context, and as long as it's two in a conversation understand each other, there's no problem in there. But it may not be, just like the verbal versus the written may not be the same thing. So pedantic probably is less about ego, but 掉书袋 in Chinese is mostly coming from the place of you try to show your superiority, right? There is ego involved there, and therefore you swag that bag of book at the listener to show off, right? That's a little bit different, coming from different places. All right, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you next.